Some people are saying that Prime Minister is doing bias towards the Gujarat.
गिफ्ट सिटी कॉमर्स और टेक्नोलॉजी के हब के रूप में अपनी मजबूत पहचान बना रहा है।
Gift City comes in Gujarat. Commonwealth Games come in Ahmedabad. Upcoming Olympics will be also coming in Ahmedabad.
The Prime Minister's vision of bringing 2036 Olympics to Ahmedabad.
India's first podcast on Gift City.
Do you believe that most of the companies set up their operations in the Gift City because of the tax holiday period? Do you feel that Gujarat will become next Mumbai? Because there is some headlines published in the news articles that now Gift City is the new BKC.
1500 કરોડથી વધારે કામોનું લોકાર્પણ ગાંધીનગર મતક્ષેત્રની અંદર સવારનો અને બપોરનો કાર્યક્રમ થઈને થવાનો.
Most of the people say that if you see the China's market, China has invested a lot in the infrastructure. Do you feel that same is happening under the Gift City?
1,200 firms licensed, registered, 200, 300 firms in the domestic zone of Gift City. 30,000 people operating in Gift City. There is a school inside, there is a hospital inside, there is a club inside, there is a hotel inside, there are residential towers inside. Honorable Prime Minister, when he was in Gift City, he said that once you connect with Gift City, you get connected with the whole world.
Gift City is the answers to Dubai or Singapore center.
It is already in the league of an international financial services center. What happens in Gift City is now being closely monitored by the several global financial centers.
There are a lot of noise in the market that government has given funding to some of the companies to set up their operations. इंडिया का फाइनेंशियल फ्यूचर अब सिर्फ दिल्ली, मुंबई या बेंगलोर में नहीं लिखा जा रहा है, वो लिखा जा रहा है एक नई ग्लोबल सिटी में. और आज के हमारे गेस्ट उस सिटी के आर्किटेक्ट के विजन में से एक है. डॉक्टर दीपेश शाह इज एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर ऑफ द इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विस सेंटर अथॉरिटी एट द गिफ्ट सिटी, द रेगुलेटरी बैकबोन बिहाइंड द गिफ्ट सिटी. फ्रॉम शेपिंग इंडिया's offshore financial ecosystem to building a globally competitive alternative to international financial hubs, he operates at the intersection of policy, regulation, global capital, and national ambition. When we say about the gift city, we are not just talking about the one location. We are talking about the India's entire financial sovereignty, which can make India from rule taker to rule maker. Welcome to the world of curiosity. आज के एपिसोड में हम बात करेंगे व्हाट इज द गिफ्ट सिटी ऑल अबाउट. क्यों गवर्नमेंट के मेजर बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स अहमदाबाद में आ रहे हैं, क्या है गिफ्ट सिटी की रेगुलेशन, टैक्सेशन इम्पैक्ट, एंड कैसे गिफ्ट सिटी इंडिया के फाइनेंशियल इकोसिस्टम को एक गेम चेंजर बना सकता है. ये सब जानने के लिए एपिसोड को एंड तक देखिए. एंजॉय द शो. Welcome to Curious Minds, sir. Say if someone doesn't know about the gift city or someone is hearing for the first time, what would you like to explain to the people for the gift city in one line, or how India is trying to solve the problem for the gift city?
As you know, GIFT stands for Gujarat International Finance Tech City. It is India's first Fintech City. Now we've been hearing several cities in India, but first time we are hearing there is a city called Fintech. And you must be wondering, how come this name Gift City has come? So when we were naming this, when we were conceptualizing this city, and as you are aware, the Gift City is a brainchild of the Honorable Prime Minister when he was a Chief Minister of the state. He tossed the terminology called gift and told us, prepare a full form. And that is what is now known as Gujarat International Finance Tech City. What does GIFT City stands for? GIFT City is India's first smart city and India's first international financial services center. Now, viewers or the would wondering that what happens in a financial center. So GIFT City stands for Developing Both Domestic and International Financial Services Center. When you come to GIFT City, if you are in a finance sector or you are in a technology sector, you can set up your operations in GIFT. You can deal in from a domestic zone with the rest of India, and in an international zone, you can deal with the entire world through GIFT City. And that's why Honorable Prime Minister, when he was in GIFT City, he said that once you connect with GIFT City, you get connected with the whole world.
But how the word gift has arrived?
As I told you, GIFT came as a short form. We were trying to name this project, and the Honorable Chief Minister, when he was a Chief Minister of the state, he came to the room as informed by our first chairman that he came to the room and he said, I will call this as a gift. And that's how Gujarat International Finance, everybody could, come to a common terminology. But people were struggling with T. And that again was, everybody went back to him. And he said, this is in 2007. He said that in future, finance will not be able to operate without technology. So today, world talks of fintech, and he called it as Fintech City in 2007.
Great. Do you think is the requirement of gift city because Mumbai is the financial capital, Bangalore is a startup capital, then why there is a requirement of gift city and why Gandhinagar?
I think we all have to understand that today, the way India operates, we don't have a full capital account convertibility, which means that sitting in India, you cannot convert your rupees freely into foreign currency. And we always needed a center which can be for all practical purpose becomes an offshore center. Now, this debate has been, or this discussion, research has been going on for many years. I remember way back in 1990s also there was discussion around a financial center. In 2007-8 there was a report of making international financial center in India. And why India needed a financial center? Because by not having our own financial center, one had to go to an offshore center outside India. So for example, Dubai, Singapore, Mauritius, and do what? Do India's dollar business sitting there. Now, for that reason, while you made a comparison with Mumbai, Bangalore, for us, I don't think there is a comparison with any other city in India. What we are comparing ourselves is with the other financial centers globally, and how can India become a global financial hub.
Do you think does geography matter for creating such a huge digital hub?
Why we need a geography is, as I told, we don't have a full capital account convertibility. Now, the problem could be that the whole of India becomes full capital account convertibility, which obviously is little away from where we are at this moment in our economy. And that's why we needed one physical location, which for all practical purpose becomes an India's own offshore center. And that is why a physical location with an offshore regulation being notified as a center outside India, although you are within India, and giving you full capital account convertibility, makes it very easy for people to undertake international financial services more freely.
But why companies will set up their operations in the gift city d- despite they have their headquarters in Mumbai or Bangalore?
Yeah, so I think this comparison of having head office or other in India is not relevant from a gift city perspective, and I'll explain why. In gift, when you come, you can't transact in Indian rupee. When in the international financial center of gift city, when you come, your dealing currency has to be foreign currency. So first of all, this is not replacing what Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore is doing. They are doing India's domestic business, sitting in all those centers as you just mentioned. But gift city is the only center in India where you can transact freely in foreign currency. As I said, under the foreign exchange law, this has been declared as a non-resident zone, which means you are as good as sitting in Singapore, but when you are sitting in gift, you have the same status. You are a non-resident from your business perspective. And that's why having an international financial center with a capability to undertake dollar or foreign currency business more freely was really needed for India, because we were exporting business outside and we were exporting jobs outside. Now, GIFT actually answers that. You don't need Indian businesses or corporates to go outside India. They can be in India and they can do India's international business much more efficiently now.
जैसे आपने कहा कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी इज़ द आर्किटेक्ट ऑफ दिस विजन एंड ही हैज़ पुट दिस विजन इन 2007-8 बट GIFT City has made properly or allocated in 2018 or 19. Why so much gap? It is a gap of around 10 years.
I think a lot of people don't realize what GIFT was conceptualized and how it was implemented. First of all, as I said, GIFT was planned as India's first smart city and a vertical international financial services center. We are not spreading like horizontal in GIFT. Everything is going high rise. Now you can imagine that you are sitting in Gandhinagar, which was earlier not having more than 40, 50, 60 meters height. And suddenly GIFT City aspires to have a 120 meter height first tower, which were the tallest tower of Gujarat. Now, having that type of differentiator of creating a financial center with a different skill sets, with a different infrastructure, was not available in the rest of India. So you needed lot of planning, you needed lot of understanding of how technically to build a vertical city. And as you know, many times we say that, see, post independence, hardly we have seen two cities come up. You have seen Chandigarh and Gandhinagar. Post independence has come up. You may argue that Navi Mumbai to an extent is now an extension of Mumbai, but still a new city coming up. GIFT City that way becomes India's ground zero from a barren land to a new city project. And that's why we needed, my view is that we needed leadership to visualize this type of a city which will India need. And you can imagine this was being visualized in 2007. In 2008, we had a Lehman Brothers. And everybody across the world said that financial centers, financial businesses are all going to be shut down. That is the type of the leadership that GIFT got from the Honorable Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of the state that time. He believed that India will grow to such a large extent that it will need its own international financial services center. What today we call as an Atmanirbhar Bharat was actually seen in 2007 in GIFT City.
I genuinely believe that upcoming decade is India's time. Some times back, Jeff Bezos had made a statement that 21st century is India's century. And right now, the government is working on such scalable operations with such strong governance. It's not a far that the world top order will be going to change. And India will be there in world top orders. One question comes to my mind. If you just see the graph of the GIFT City growth, it has been horizontal for much years and then suddenly just boost up. So what is the reason behind boosting up such a graph?
See, while you are seeing the graph when it started boosting up, for any center or any city to come up, lot of hard work goes in the foundation of that. And I consider and we consider laying the foundation is equally important as seeing the now what you call the growth story. The growth is not happening just overnight. It is because of that hard work of laying the foundation of a city which is visualized as an India's first smart city with so much of innovation in terms of infrastructure, which many times, many of those have not happened in India before. Example, I can give you 4 examples of a real innovation in GIFT City, which many of people when they come to GIFT City are blown away with. For example, you come to GIFT City, you don't need plastic bottles. You can drink water from tap. This is the only city in India. Today at the city level, you can drink water from tap. Second, when you come to GIFT City, no garbage when it enters the GIFT City. You just simply put the garbage into the chutes. 90 km/h speed, it is disposed of at a centralized location. This is again innovation in India. It has never happened before. Third, entire city runs on a utility tunnel. Now today, if you really ask me what is one board that hits your eyes on every crossroad, it is a work in progress crossroad because somebody is repairing the road, somebody is laying the pipes, and the roads are always under construction. In GIFT City, the entire city runs on a utility tunnel. You don't need to dig the road to repair the infrastructures. And that is an innovation which even developed countries don't have today. Fourth, entire GIFT City runs on a district cooling system. You don't have, so district cooling system is you don't need split AC and window air conditioning. It's a centralized cooling system which converts chill water into a chill air and supplies to each building. That is reducing 30% of your power consumption and also very, very green and sustainable for a city. So this type of innovation, I think, needs lot of people to come and experience for themselves to believe that something like this exists in India now.
Some people are saying that Prime Minister is doing bias towards the Gujarat. Gift City comes in Gujarat. Commonwealth Games come in Ahmedabad. Upcoming Olympics will be also coming in Ahmedabad. What is your view on this?
My view is that you have to see that Gujarat is also India. Gujarat is not outside India. Anything which happens in Gujarat happens in India only. And we all have to appreciate that every chief minister in 2007 had the same opportunity to create GIFT City. It was the leadership of Gujarat that really took that faith that India would need that and dedicated an entire land area, parcel of 900 acres to develop GIFT City, which probably many other states could have easily done on the same line. But you always, as I said, for creating GIFT City like project, you need leadership. And that fortunately at that time Gujarat had in the form of the Honorable Prime Minister and who was the Chief Minister of that time, the state of Gujarat.
True. What are the regulation in the GIFT City for the offshore companies who want to set up their operations, who want to take the license and compliance related matter?
See, it is what we have tried to do is that make it simple. You are a businessman in India or you are a corporate in India and you want to do international business in India, which means you want to do a dollar or a foreign currency business in India. Now you have two options. You can form a company in Dubai. I can give for example, Dubai International Finance Center. You can set up a company in Dubai International Finance Center. RBI allows you an Indian corporate up to 400% of the net worth, you can create a company outside. Same way you can create a company in Singapore. Same way you can create a company in Mauritius. So what we have done is same way, just like RBI treats Singapore as outside India and Dubai as outside India, they also treat GIFT City International Financial Center as outside of India. So a corporate or a business in India can also set up a company in GIFT to undertake a dollar business or foreign currency business from GIFT City for 3 territories. From sitting in GIFT, I can serve India in dollar. I can serve within GIFT in dollar. And I can serve rest of the world in foreign currency or in dollar. So all this businesses opens up when I come to GIFT City. And for that, businessmen just need to take an appropriate license under the regulation of the International Financial Services Centers Authority.
And how long such license is getting approved?
International Financial Services Center came in 2020. In 2015, the International Financial Center at GIFT City got operationalized with the first set of regulation being issued by the Government of India. Now, you will be probably surprised to hear that we got approval to set up an International Financial Center in 2011.
Before setting up the GIFT City?
GIFT City got set up in 2007-8. In 2011, we got the license notified as an International Financial Services Center. But our business regulations were not issued by the Government of India. That got issued only in 2015.
After next new government?
After new government in 2014, I think they really gave the directions of issuing the right policy for the financial centers to start operating. So this government in 2014 operationalized the International Financial Services Center. And in 2020, according to us, I think one of the biggest reform that the financial sector would have seen was creating a separate unified regulator for GIFT City, which is an International Financial Services Centers Authority, which is now having powers of RBI, SEBI, IRDA and the PFRDA. All 4 financial regulators' power for the International Financial Center now vest with the International Financial Services Centers Authority. So FEMA doesn't include this or power? So domestic FEMA or the domestic RBI regulation says that GIFT City is outside India, so the domestic FEMA does not apply. What applies is the regulation of the IFFC authority for firms operating here. But anyone who wants to, from India, wants to transfer money into GIFT, he will follow the RBI or the FEMA provisions.
When I dealing with the offshore investors, I have come across some common feedbacks that they start applying for the license, but license doesn't come or they are getting delayed in getting the license. So what is the solution for the companies?
I think somewhere we have to look at that the regulator is also a facilitator. I think what I'm not saying on behalf of my fellow regulators, but I'm saying from the perspective that when a company comes to a regulator, what does he expect? He expects a clear guidelines. He expects a clear regulation. He expects a very simple application form and a straightforward approval process. If we all work in India as a regulator on the principle of making everything simple and not having a lot of ambiguity in terms of what you can do, what you can't do, and for everything you need to come to me, I think if we try to remove that, and that's what the IFFC authority, because it's a new authority set up, so it has no baggage from past. It created its own regulations, application processes, approval processes on its own, benchmarking with the international best practices. So that gave us a lot of confidence that internationally financial centers, how they move, how they operate, we can also replicate, and at times we can do better than what they are doing outside. And that's why the approval process in the IFFC zone in GIFT City at times been considered by the market participants as fast, is also simple, and also makes life easier for them to operate from.
How entire hedging process done in the GIFT City? Because the money will flow from the offshore investors in the GIFT City at their currency. Might be in USD, might be in Singapore dollar. But in India, we need to convert into INR. So how entire hedging process done?
So when you are investor in GIFT, you two ways you can invest. So for example, you are in Singapore and you want to invest into a company operating in Bangalore. So you can come under the FDI norms or under the FPI norms. Same applies to GIFT City. When a fund comes into GIFT, you can invest into India as an FDI or as an FPI. And because GIFT is a dollar or a foreign currency, even an Australian dollar can come, GBP can come, Euro can come, dollar can come in GIFT City. From GIFT City, when you are investing into India as an FPI, you are investing into domestic company. So obviously your currency will get converted into an Indian rupee, and just like what a foreign investor does, like an hedging, is also been able to do it from the GIFT City itself.
I have listened that GIFT City has the cheapest hedging cost ever.
I don't know about the cheapest because that is very subjective and based on what is the volume, what is the size, what is the terms between the two parties. But I would definitely agree to the point that the GIFT City banks and the GIFT City institutions has the ability to serve in foreign currency in the way any global bank operates. So if their cost of borrowing or if their cost of operations are lower, obviously they will be able to pass on that benefit to the customers also.
What are the taxation impact on the GIFT City? Because GIFT City has been hyped, or I can say, or GIFT City has been marketed just because of taxation impact. So what are all the taxation impacts in the GIFT City?
It's a very good question, Ayush, what you are asking me. That is GIFT City a tax haven? That's what you are asking me. Now let us see what happens globally. I go to DIFC Dubai as an Indian corporate. I take a license in DIFC. Out of 50 years, for 50 years, I don't pay any tax. I go to Abu Dhabi Global Markets, I don't pay any tax. I go to MAS Singapore for all the international business, although they have a 14-17% tax, effectively tax rate is 0. I go to Malaysia, Labuan, I pay straight 3% tax. I go to Hong Kong, they have 14-15% tax, but even for international businesses, there are some leeways, which makes it 0. I go to Dublin, I pay 0 tax, although the corporate tax is 12.5%. Now, what you are competing with? You are not competing with for domestic rupee business. You are competing for global currency and global business. Unless and until our tax policy are in line with the international practices, how can the international business flow here? Because for financial institution, they consider tax as a cost. For them, they have always an opportunity or always have a freedom to go in any market which they want. And why would they come? If they find our tax policy have a similar competitive advantage, they will come to GIFT or they will come to India. Otherwise, they will do their business from where they are. Second advantage, what now we are seeing in GIFT is that the cost of operations. Outside, the cost of operations is in very expensive. So, in hiring an Indian talent, a very capable Indian talent comes at a very competitive cost. And outside, they pay a very high cost. So, all this is also not only from tax perspective, also the cost of operations are helping many firms to now look at GIFT City as their base.
I think so. Gift City has a pass-through certificate or zero taxation impact, right?
So, there are two things. One is as a company, when you set up in GIFT or a firm, financial firm sets up in GIFT, government now have a policy from 1st April 2026. Out of 25 years, 20 years you don't pay any tax on the profits that you make as a firm. After that, you pay 15% tax. So that is also a clarity given after the tax holiday period, which is, according to us, is a very, very certain zone, which is now GIFT has become for the global investors.
But do you believe that 20-year tax holiday will become a compelling destination or just a temporary bubble?
No, 20 years, first of all, is not temporary. See, I can imagine 2 years, 5 years could be considered as a temporary. Out of 25 years, 20 years is a long-term tax certainty provided. And that too, and after that, giving you a 15% flat rate, that gives a very firm footing for GIFT in all the global financial centers outside. But you also ask second thing, for an investor. So if I'm an investor in category 1, 2, 3 fund in India, in category 1 and 2, there is a pass-through in GIFT also. So the money goes to the investors and they pay tax in the home country. They don't pay tax anything in India. So that's a pass-through status given. And this is, even if I come from Singapore, if I come from outside to invest in India, in some categories I get the same treatment. So for GIFT, what has been provided is the same parity of what you get from outside.
One of the common questions which I heard from the offshore investor is, when they put money into the GIFT City, when they earn returns, say one of the company has set up their operations, say alternate investment funds in the GIFT City. Now when they earn returns, the major question or confusion is gross versus net. So let's say I have put 100 rupees for 5 years and I am getting 10 rupees for the 5 years. So will I need to pay tax on 10 rupees or I will getting certain deductions like hedging costs or net of management fees, or how it's completely done?
No, I think, see, we have to look at the whole, and this is little complicated. It's not, this is little technical, the way that you are asking me. We have to, if I want to make it simple, what is that? If I come and set up my business in GIFT, whatever I earn as a business profit, I don't pay any tax. That's a very simple way of looking at GIFT City. Second is, when I'm doing a business, I also do investments, and I also earn, say, short-term, long-term capital gains in the investments that I do. Obviously, those have a different principle to apply. It is not a business income, it is part of your investments. So those for GIFT City operate on the similar principle today how it operates for global investors. That there will be a long-term, there will be a short-term tax applicable for the investors when you are investing into Indian markets. When you are investing outside, obviously the outside markets where you are investing, their tax law will apply to you. So the principally the GIFT, one in a simple way to understand is, business income that you earn in GIFT, that has no tax, and the capital gain or other are on line with what you pay from outside or in GIFT, the same principle.
Correct. Do you believe that most of the companies set up their operations in the GIFT City because of the tax holiday period?
I would ask you other way, that are we saying that so many firms globally which are setting up their structures in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, Mauritius, London, New York, are they all setting up for tax purposes? Because there is also tax which is zero. Answer is that we have to see that every global institutions look at the best competitive location to do business from. If India now provides the same solution, then the question in their mind is now, why not India? Because we have talent, we have advantage of cost of operations, we have advantage of the regulations now, which is in line with the international best practice. Our tax is also in line with the international best practice. So point is, why not India? Because if you go on the global firms, all of these financial sectors firms globally, one thing that you will commonly find and observe is there's an Indian which is working there for those financial services firms. Now, if our minds are going across the world to do global business, the same mind can be in gift to do international business for the global firm.
But will not be any chance to create a shell companies around there?
See, shell company concept is a little, got popular when people created structures in Mauritius for investing into India. Now, for GIFT from day one, and that is why the GIFT City regulations and the GIFT City, the Financial Center Authority, the substance requirements are brought in the regulation itself. So, when you are applying, you need to apply with the substance and tell the authority that this is what my substance will be. And there are periodic supervision, there are periodic visits to understand how they operate. And that's why I think from day one as a regulator, we have tried to be away from a shell structures in GIFT. We have made it mandatory for people to physically operate from GIFT the global businesses.
True. Do you believe that GIFT City is the answers to Dubai or Singapore center? Say I want to just make a comparison between Dubai or Singapore's financial service sector and one is GIFT City. So I want to make them to listen that what are the benefits GIFT has and which they don't have.
Indian talent at the competitive cost that India has. See, today you ask any global economy, which economy can stand up and say that I will grow for next 25 years for more than 7% year on year? I don't think there is a handful of economy which can raise their hand and say that I will grow more than 7% for next 25 years. I think India is fortunately under that type of a leadership, that type of a growth journey that India is seeing, that we can stand up and say that we will grow at more than 6-7% year on year for next 25 years. Now, that type of a leadership that Indian economy today is having, answer is, why not India? It was very easy to say that why India, and we can easily ask them why not India, because the brains are Indians, the cost is competitive, the tax regulations, everything operates on the global principle. Then why not India?
True. Most of the people say that if you see the China's market, China has invested a lot in the infrastructure. But right now there is imbalance between the demand and supply. People are not using it. Do you feel that same is happening under the GIFT City? That government has created infrastructure a lot, but peoples are not there, companies are not there.
I think you have to come and see for yourself. My talking here may look like I am talking from a GIFT City because I have a bias for GIFT City. But if you come to GIFT City, what would you see? You will see 1200 firms licensed, registered, given a registration by the IFSCA authority. You will see 200-300 firms in the domestic zone of GIFT City.
So
you will
these
see
1200 or 200 are working.
You will see 30,000 people operating in GIFT City. You come on the working days, you will see cars all over across the roads, full of parking spaces, cars on the road. All these indication that there is lot of economic activity happening inside GIFT City. There is a school inside, there is a hospital inside, there is a club inside, there is a hotel inside, there are residential towers inside. Now there is a lot of sports and food courts areas coming up in GIFT City. So the point is, GIFT City is now probably a real classic example of a walk to work city. You come and work in GIFT City and all your needs are taken care of in GIFT City.
Some days back, a news has come that Fintech sector and GCC, they are now coming to GIFT City instead of Mumbai and Bangalore. And Mumbai and Bangalore are complaining that the talent GIFT City is taking. Why is it so?
I don't think that there can be any question on any city taking over any talent.
It is within the India.
We should see that in today's talent in India is highly mobile. See, if you ask me, I am a Gujarati. If I get an opportunity to work in anywhere in India, I think in the earlier days, obviously, I would have preferred to stay within the city or the state where I am operating. But nowadays, you ask an youth passing out from a university in Gujarat or anywhere in India, he gets a good job opportunity. He goes anywhere in India. That is, I think, the change that India is seeing. Across India, we are seeing high mobile young talent. They can go anywhere. I don't think Bangalore, the talent that you see is local Bangalore talent. Maybe 30% could be local talent, 60-70% has come from other states to work in Bangalore. Because Bangalore created that environment for people to come, companies to come. Similarly, Bombay created, similarly, Delhi created, and GIFT City is now creating. So it has, I don't think, any element of taking away from one or the other. Every city provides its own opportunities. And GIFT City is one such city providing a very different, unique experience of undertaking international business where the skill set are little different. It helps you to grow in your career that you are undertaking international business and helps you to probably jump into new line of businesses when you are in GIFT City.
There are a lot of noise in the market that government has given funding to some of the companies to set up their operations in the GIFT City so that other domestic companies or other global companies, they can motivate it and set up their operations.
See, in the initial days, I'm in GIFT City since 2008. I joined in the initial days when our chairman of GIFT City, Sri Sudhin Mankad, was building the team. And I'm fortunate to get into that initial, 4-5 employees which came in. I also joined as one of the employees there. And what I found was that the creation of GIFT City had a lot of good structuring, that it had a structure to implement. It was not dependent on the government to do everything. That structure allowed the GIFT City a flexibility to be on its own, implement, take decisions of its own, and implement things on its own. This has really helped the GIFT City. If you really ask me a single point, it's a structure of the GIFT City which helped it to implement the project very fast. Second, I think your question was on what?
Why government has given funding or not to the company?
Yes, so I think in the initial days, whenever you are setting up a new city, you will always need to have the internal or the within the state institutions come forward. You can't expect a company from outside of Gujarat or outside of India will come and first establish their presence. They will always like to see local examples. And those times, and this is true for even DIFC, this is true for ADGM, first you have to tell your own firms to look at this and set up. And then rest everybody will follow. So today when I say 1200 firms, I would probably say that in those 1200 license registrations that we have given at the IFSCA authority, I don't think there would be more than 100 or 200 firms which are even from the local state. It would have come from across India and even from outside of India to set up their presence there. But those initial 50 or 100 would always come from within the state because they are the first movers or the first risk takers because they believe in your own story.
Does GIFT City has its own hospitals, schools, colleges for the employees of the company? Like what Reliance has done for the Jamnagar, like it's known for Reliance Township.
Yes.
So क्या GIFT City में भी ऐसी facilities हैं?
I think ये बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा कि गिफ्ट सिटी सेल्फ कंटेन है क्या. गिफ्ट सिटी में जब आप मास्टर प्लान देखेंगे ना तो आप देखेंगे गिफ्ट सिटी का पूरा प्लानिंग में कॉमर्शियल इज 67%, रेसिडेंशियल सोशल फैसिलिटीज आर अराउंड I think residentials are around 22% and social facilities are around 11%. So it's a balance. It's a, as I said, it is, आपको सब कुछ अंदर ही मिल जाएगा. तो आपको, it's an integrated township, as you said. It's an integrated city where you have businesses, where you have schools, hospitals, playgrounds, clubs, hotels, all operating within the same premises. And the concept of GIFT City is walk to work, which means when you are saying walk to work, which means everybody is staying there, everybody is working there, and all the social facilities are part of the same campus.
Do you believe that GIFT City in the next decade will be competing with Dubai or a London or a Singapore financial center?
It is, I would say that it is already in the league of an international financial services center. What happens in Gift City is now being closely monitored by the several global financial centers. They're also looking at Gift City now as in probably what is the next move of Gift City, what the financial center is doing. And for us, I think it is not a competition. It is more to collaborate with those financial centers more efficiently and effectively. And that's why the government's idea of having a separate unified regulator has started working very well. If you see in last 5 years, since 2020 to 2025, the 5 years that the regulator has been established, the financial services business has moved very rapidly in Gift City. If you ask anyone in last 5 years, there's a lot of demand in housing, lot of demand in commercial, lot of demand in the social facilities across Gift City. Because the more vibrant you make the financial center, it is helping the city also to expand equally well. So for us, I think it is not competition with other financial centers. In fact, we have signed a cooperation with Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, Mauritius, London. All regulators we have signed a cooperation.
क्या है ये cooperation agreement?
These are basically, as a regulator to regulator, we sign memorandum of understanding, which is to sharing of best practices, help each other understand the regulations, the newer challenges coming in the financial sector, and help each other to understand the nuances of the financial sector. And this cooperation helps firms from both the sides, like an UK firm coming into Gift or a Gift firm going to UK. It helps them to understand each other's regulation better.
Okay, great. Which metrics should be used to assess the Gift City's growth? Whether it's number of companies coming in Gift City, whether it's number of people coming in Gift City, or number of capital coming to the Gift City?
I think again a very important question, I must say, Ayush, what you are asking. See, globally there are 128 financial centers which are been ranked by an index called Global Financial Center Index. अगर आप उनका इंडेक्स देखेंगे ना तो आपको पता चलेगा कि ग्लोबली, बाय द वे इन दैट इंडेक्स वी आर अराउंड 45-47. We were 97 when we started in that index. We are now 40.
So from 97 we have just reached to 47.
45-47 now. And those, there are parameters there. But I would say, see, I have also had an opportunity to done my research or a PhD in the International Financial Services Center itself. So I had done my research and PhD on this subject. What I found was there are 3 ways to evaluate a financial center. One was to look at, as you rightly said, the volume of transactions the financial center is able to intermediate. So for example, banks in Gift City has more than $100 billion of banking asset size. Stock exchange in Gift has a monthly volume of $80-90 billion on an average. So these are the volumes which speaks about how a financial center is effectively doing large number of business. So it's a volume is one factor. Second, as you rightly said, is the job. How many jobs you are able to create in the financial centers. And because India never had its own financial center, whatever you are doing in Gift is actually adding new jobs into India. These jobs could have easily happened in DIFC or Mauritius for India. Now we are seeing it is happening in Gift for India. So we are bringing more jobs in India, we are bringing more business in India. And the third factor, which could effectively become an important indicator, is how effectively the financial center is able to forge global alliances so that the global business on both the sides can be done much more efficiently. Now, I can take a pride that, look, I am giving you an opportunity to do India dollar business, but am I giving a similar opportunity to a US firm or a UK firm or an Australian firm to come in Gift and do global business on a similar competitive scale and size? That will then decide how easy and how financial center is able to grow, and that's where your question of how to measure would be on these 3 factors for a financial center.
Correct. Do you believe that company will hesitant or business is hesitant in funding in the Gift City because of such of restrictions, incentivized confusion, like IFSC regulation, FEMA regulation, RBI regulation?
इनफैक्ट ये सारी चीज़ें सिंपल हो गई है गिफ्ट में. जब आप गिफ्ट में आते हो ना तो आपको गिफ्ट का रेगुलेशंस देखना है.
ओके.
आपको रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया का रेगुलेशंस नहीं देखना है, बिकॉज आपका डोमेस्टिक इंडिया में आपके रेगुलेशंस डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस को अप्लाई करता है.
Okay.
जब आप गिफ्ट में आते हो तो गिफ्ट के रेगुलेशंस आपको अप्लाई करते हैं. This has really simplified for many of them. So, for example, a global firm, financial institution wanted to come to India. Now he has two gates: land up into domestic India or land up in gift. When he lands up in domestic India, if he is only doing international dollar business, then when lending in domestic India, you will also lend into a larger domestic regulatory architecture. When you lend in gift, अगर आपको ग्लोबल बिजनेस करना है तो आपको ग्लोबल रेगुलेशंस मिल रहे हैं टू डू इंडिया ग्लोबल बिजनेस, इंडिया डॉलर बिजनेस, इंडिया फॉरेन करेंसी बिजनेस, इंडिया एंड फ्रॉम गिफ्ट ग्लोबल बिजनेस. सो आपको एक ग्लोबल रेगुलेशंस मिल रहे हैं. So for that reason, it makes simplifies for a foreign institution that instead of lending into a larger domestic architecture for which I may not be doing any business, I would then better off to be in Gift City for the international business that I want to undertake.
What are the repatriation restrictions under the gift city?
So from gift to sending money anywhere outside, it's an offshore to offshore under FEMA.
Okay.
So no FEMA restrictions. Dollar coming in gift, dollar going out of gift is it coming in from outside and going outside. There is no restrictions because it's an offshore to offshore transaction. Coming from India into gift, you have to follow RBI FEMA provisions to send money. What you are following for sending money to Singapore, Dubai, London, you follow the same for Gift City also. For sending money back, dollar sending back to India, as we understand that receiving receiving foreign currency in India is also made mostly free by the regulator. So dollar coming into India is also has no major restrictions. It is going out from India into gift and outside. One has to follow the FEMA provisions.
Like 100% of the money comes in the gift city, same 100% can be withdrawn.
Yes.
ओके मैंने कई न्यूज़ में पढ़ा था अभी कि कंपनीज इज अगेंस्ट शिफ्टिंग टू मुंबई. इज इट ट्रू?
Companies is against
Shifting to Mumbai from gift city. Say one of the companies has started its operation, but due to some regulation, restriction, and somehow they're again shifting back to Mumbai.
I don't see that as a correct statement. When you're coming to gift, as I explained, you're coming for doing dollar or international business. So if somebody would have thought of that sitting in gift, he will be able to do rupee business of Mumbai and still avail tax incentives. तो वो तो है नहीं गिफ्ट में.
Correct.
आपको गिफ्ट में आ रहे हैं तो डॉलर बिजनेस के लिए आ रहे हैं, उसके ऊपर आपको इंसेंटिव्स है.
प्रॉपर ऑफशोर के लिए.
हाँ. तो कभी कभी हमने भी ये ऐसे केसेस देखे हैं दैट मेनी टाइम कंपनीज कम टू अस और हमको बोलते हैं हमको लाइसेंस चाहिए बिकॉज यहाँ पे टैक्स इंसेंटिव है. तो हम उनको बोलते हैं कि आपका वो बिजनेस गिफ्ट में एलिजिबल ही नहीं है बिकॉज वो डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस है, वो डोमेस्टिक से ही कर सकते हैं आप, वो गिफ्ट से नहीं, बिकॉज हमारा डीलिंग करेंसी INR है ही नहीं. सो वहीं पे आपका एक रिस्ट्रिक्शन है कि आपका डोमेस्टिक बिजनेस गिफ्ट में शिफ्ट नहीं हो सकता है. इट इज मेंट, रूपी बिजनेस इज मेंट फॉर डोमेस्टिक इंडिया ओनली.
Any fraud you have found in the gift city done by the company?
I don't think fraud is a right word. I would say that there would always be, as a regulator, you always keep observing that there are challenges in terms of compliance to the regulations. Sometimes you have not followed what is required in terms of the governance. So all those are day-to-day regulatory requirements which keeps coming up, and as a regulator you keep highlighting and the regulated entities keeps complying to those requirements.
Do you feel that Gujarat will become next Mumbai? Because there is some headlines published in the news articles that now Gift City is the new BKC.
So that's what Aayush I'm saying, that ये हमको माइंड से निकालना पड़ेगा कि गिफ्ट सिटी इंडिया की अदर सिटीज से कॉम्पीट कर रही है. गिफ्ट सिटी इंडिया है, रेस्ट ऑफ द अदर सिटीज भी इंडिया है. गिफ्ट सिटी अगर आप जो आपने जैसे पूछा उसमें question should be, would Gift City be next Singapore?
Correct.
This is how you should consider gift.
True.
Gift has a potential to become next Singapore. It has a potential to become next London. It can also become New York as it moves forward.
Like Silicon Valley.
That is the potential of Gift City.
True. How you are seeing Gift City next decade?
I think, as I said, the hard work of the foundation of last 10 years and the last 5 years, what we have seen in the regulatory form and others, I think has laid a very, very strong foundation. And कोई भी चीज़ को ग्रो होना है ना, उसके लिए फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो फाउंडेशन बहुत स्ट्रांग हो गया है. तो यहाँ से नेक्स्ट 10 साल तो मैं तो ये मानता हूँ कि जो हमको 5 साल में जो एफर्ट्स और टाइम लगा वो उसके बाद के 5 साल में कम लगा, और अभी नेक्स्ट 10 साल में हमको यहाँ से जो ग्रो होना है उसमें टाइम एंड एफर्ट्स कम लगेंगे. विल बी एबल टू ग्रो मच फास्टर फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर नाउ, बिकॉज आपने एक फाउंडेशन स्ट्रॉन्ग ले कर दिया है. पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड seeing the success. People have started saying that what I'm able to do in Singapore, Dubai, Mauritius, I'm easily able to do from GIFT. So now there is a testimony of the success emerging from GIFT, which is spreading to everybody. That look, I came to GIFT, I became successful. Now, for example, I know a firm in GIFT which came with 1515. It's a Gujarati firm. Came with 1515 employees. Has a 1500 employees now in GIFT.
Wow.
And he's doing accounting outsourcing of New Zealand, Australia, sitting in GIFT. So that type of success story will motivate others now more and more to come to GIFT City.
What is one myth or misunderstood about the gift city that you want people that they should not think about it?
I think in the initial days there were a lot of myths, to be honest. Somebody would say that ये गुजरात इंटरनेशनल फैशन टेक्नोलॉजी है क्या, वो फाइनेंस फैशन टेक्नोलॉजी है. Then somebody would say you come to Gift City and you will get money because it's a gift city gives a gift of money.
Okay.
So this type of misconception were a lot of that. But I think everybody wants to now understand and try to come to Gift City with a very positive mindset. हम initial days में देखते थे ना, people were very skeptical. ये होगा नहीं होगा, इंडिया में बातें होती है, होगा नहीं होगा. But I think as I told in the beginning that the leadership really plays a very important role. Leadership का conviction है तो आप गिफ्ट सिटी जैसा प्रोजेक्ट कर सकते हो, वरना आप गिफ्ट सिटी नहीं कर सकते.
Totally agree with your point because I am coming from Gujarat, and why Gujarat model has been famous across the world, because when Prime Minister was a Chief Minister, he brings Vibrant Summit for the first time in the country, and at that time the vision was to make Vibrant Summit at a global level, but he couldn't get the visa. So how he has done this possible from sitting in the Gujarat, making camera and screening in the New York, and he has done this possible.
Correct.
So that's what I am most fascinated about the Prime Minister.
Correct.
One of the question comes to my mind that do you feel that what unique lesson can Gift City teach about the emerging economies regarding to that financial hub creation?
I think what Gift City can really give as an example is that look, if you have a right leadership, if you have a right intention, and you have a right structure to implement, it is possible to create a financial center from scratch. That is a classic example of what the Gift City now stands for. Many global centers, I'm not naming them, but I can tell you there are many other centers, many other countries outside of India now looking at Gift City as an example that look, India has created the Gift City and this model can be actually replicated in the many parts of the world where many countries are really struggling for growth, for new areas, new avenues to come in. And Gift City now really shows them a path that look, with the right mindset, right leadership, right regulations, you can really create a financial center and make it in line with the international best practices. So that's the example that we are seeing. Second, we are also seeing that Gift City probably can motivate many global established and upcoming financial centers to collaborate. Because see, everybody wants to collaborate with India.
Now the doors has been opened very easily.
Easily. With so many free trade agreements now been signed, with so many people looking at India more positively, I think Gift City will become a natural inbound and outbound gateway, as we call it. किसी को इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट करना है, गिफ्ट सिटी को देखेगा. किसी को इंडिया से बाहर इन्वेस्ट करना है, गिफ्ट सिटी को देखेगा. किसी को इंडिया में डॉलर बिजनेस करना है, गिफ्ट सिटी को देखेगा. किसी को इंडिया से बाहर का डॉलर बिजनेस करना है, गिफ्ट सिटी को देखेगा. So Gift City has, and as I said in the beginning, Prime Minister really said very correctly that once you connect with Gift City, you connect with the whole world.
Correct. Right now, India has signed a India-European Union trade deal, which is known as mother of all deals. What is your view about that? What is exactly the trade deal all about?
I think While the trade deal has a lot of components of manufacturing and also several segments of services, what we have seen that all the trade deals are going to help India become more visible, bring more investments, and help Indian firms and Indian people for creating more jobs and more business opportunities. So, trade deals per se, I think, as a fundamental as we see it, is a very good for any country to have. And favorable trade deals are much more easier for people to then undertake more long-term businesses. So we see this as a very positive development. It also talks of India's leadership in the global market. People want to come and connect with India, and great to see that under the leadership of this government, we are signed so many trade deals are really helping India to grow. It really helps to open an European market companies for India and Indian market to European countries. And as you know, euro is not only just one, you get access to 28, 29 different smaller European countries, which is really seen as a new access for many Indian firms to get into. Just like as we say that you come to Gift City, you have access to so many states in India. Gift City also helps you to do internet business with almost so many states across India. Likewise, on access to European side, having access to so many European countries for us.
Do you believe that is India reinventing the new global IFSC playbook?
I would say that India is writing its own chapter in the International Financial Services Center. We may not require to copy what others have done. We can very well try and align our financial center with the needs of India as a first gateway. Because see, the advantage of Gift City is that you are serving the hinterland. What is hinterland? Is domestic India, which is growing at 7% plus. So the advantage for Gift City is that you are already sitting very close to the market, which is the largest growing economy in the world. That's the advantage. And what on the other side you are doing is also connecting India to global through Gift City. Now, both ways, I think Gift City is in a very sweet spot, I would say, that is, will be able to form a new form of a leadership for the global institutions to use Gift City and become more successful.
One last question. What are your views on the Viksit Bharat? Because I'm asking this question to everyone who's ever coming on my podcast. Because my purpose for the podcast is that only that mindset and perspective I want to just think of the guest what they are seeing towards the Viksit Bharat.
See, I see it a very, very positive and firm affirmation to what India can achieve. I think we all knew that India will be 100 in 2047, but none of us were thinking from the perspective that India at 100 to be a developed country. And that, I think, the vision of the government of India to give that type of a positive mindset to the people of India, that 100 we should all work together to make it as a India as a developed country, is a very positive affirmation of doing positive things for India. And that is really very, very appealing. And for a financial center, I think it's also a path as to how we can contribute towards India at 100. How can the Gift City become an important gateway for adding a lot of value to achieving India 2047 vision of Government of India?
Totally agree. When I'm meeting with the people, with the guest, the one common answer what I am receiving was now Gen Zs are coming at a front foot for the Viksit Bharat. So that revolution has been taken in the country because of the Prime Minister. He's always telling that Gen Zs should come into politics, in the leadership, not for the election but for the mission of the Viksit Bharat. And that's so fascinating about right now because earlier it was seems that politics is a dirty shit, but now when you are just saying about the politics, it comes as a synonym of leadership. It comes as a Viksit Bharat.
So I see this conversation and particularly what you are doing at Curious Mind, that I see yourself. You are 23-year-old. You are into so many things at your early age of 23. I hardly remember at 23 what was I doing. I was even don't recollect. That is the type of the young leaders like you who are really coming forward and contributing towards several areas in India. Probably that's what the Honorable Prime Minister is igniting to the youth, that look, we are capable of doing so many things. Same Indian, we go out in US, UK, we do so many things for those countries. Now it's our time that we should stay in India and do a lot of things for India itself.
Have you met our Prime Minister personally?
I had a lot of occasions where I have been seen him very closely, but I did not have an opportunity to really meet him. If you really ask me, that is something which I've been dreaming for last almost 18 years in Gift City now. That would be a one day that I will be able to meet him personally and say, sir, I've been living your dream in what is happening in Gift City.
Correct. Thank you so much for coming here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aayush.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Yes, I did enjoy. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू सो मच ये एपिसोड को एंड तक देखने के लिए। आज की कन्वर्सेशन एक चीज क्लियर करती है कि क्यूरियोसिटी से ही क्लैरिटी आती है एंड क्लैरिटी से ही प्रोग्रेस, वेदर इट्स फाइनेंस, पॉलिटिक्स, स्पोर्ट्स, बिजनेस, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, स्पिरिचुअलिटी और द फ्यूचर ऑफ इंडिया। नॉलेज डजंट कंफ्यूज, इट रिजॉल्व्स। अगर आज का ये एपिसोड आपको इन्फॉर्मेटिव नहीं, इंसाइटफुल लगाओ, कंटेंट नहीं, पर्सपेक्टिव लगाओ, then चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए ताकि आपके लिए हम और बेहतर पॉडकास्ट ला सके। We will back with such insightful conversation. Until then, stay curious.